All right, happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome to your daily lighting critique. We have some new faces on today. We've got Saumik. Am I pronouncing your name right, Saumik? Hi, how's it going? Welcome to the group,
It's
and
going
welcome
good.
to.
How are you?
Good, man. So I like we'll start with yours just because we want to be welcoming to new people. I was impressed with yours and Justin's ability to get your submissions in less than 5 minutes before the window closed. And you guys, that's good. That's good work. So, I also think that you're doing a really good job with this. I think this the color is right that you have here. I just think the saturation is a little bit strong. I would just pull back on the saturation just a touch. And I feel like that
Okay.
would probably fall a little bit more into this realm a little bit more. But the shaping, like the position of the light is really good. Like obviously his face is a little more angular in the front and creates more of like a half lit, half unlit thing going on. But you're kind of getting that bounce. Maybe it's creeping around a little bit, but like this feels about right for this scene. I do think. Actually, you got it. I was gonna say there's like a stop difference or like a value difference between his face and the background, and you're kind of getting that too, where the face is just slightly brighter than what's behind it to allow it to pop forward, and you've got that on our little ball man character here. So, yeah, I mean, like you've got it. So I think you're good to move on to your next one and maybe get a little bit more of a complex scene to start playing around with that. Do you have any questions about the process or anything we can help clarify for you?
Uh, so from my previous correction, the I think the correction was to increase the size of the light.
Mm-hmm.
So in my previous correction, there is okay. I can move my mouse. You can see. So uh, there was like a kind of like a dark halo edge
Yeah,
around around the object.
yeah.
But since I increased the size right now, that's kind of lost.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure whether there's gonna be like a
Let's see.
uh,
Let me pull open the one from yesterday here. It was yesterday, right? Yeah.
from yesterday. Yeah.
Wait, today's Wednesday. I don't know date. I the days of the week thing are kill me. All right. So okay, so I see you've got this little bit of a tighter edge here, and
Yeah.
and now that we've increased
And
it, we've kind of lost it a little bit. Yeah. Um,
so
So one of the things that we in the character lighting class, one of the things that I talk about is using two lights to represent the key light, and it's for situations like this a little bit. One of it's there's a light that is more wrapped around behind him, behind the character, and allows you to get a little bit of that rim. And then a second one that's called so that would be like the key light, and then the other one that I just call like key wrap, which is pulled around a little bit more frontally, has about a third of the value and no specularity because you allow the specularity of to come in through this one side because you don't want like two highlight dings. And what that'll do, it'll allow you to preserve that kind of tighter edge on it while getting like a softer fall off on the front of the character as well.
okay.
Um, it's especially good for like something like the ball man that's very round. You don't have it here, but like lots of times with spheres, you'll get like a hard line right down the middle of where like when things start to fall off from light to shadow. So that kind of helps eliminate that too.
Okay. I think that hard line that you mentioned was there in my previous version, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, a little. Yeah, a little. It's not yours.
Yeah.
Isn't bad. Like it's not too bad. And then for stuff like this, it would be, now that we've got the bigger specular highlight, I would like. There's a part of me that wants to rough up the surface and rough up the specular a little bit to kind of diffuse that a little bit more. But like I said,
Okay.
for this assignment, it was about not adjusting the shaders too much,
Okay.
just like working with the light values and the light properties to get the look that you want. And I think you've definitely achieved that. Um, and like you've got the darkness over here too, which looks really good, and all that stuff it's falling into place really nice. So good job with that.
All right.
All right,
Thank you.
yeah, no problem. And just because Justin's relatively newer too, we'll jump to him next. I'm not praising people for getting stuff in the last 5 minutes too much. It's good, but let's go make these a little bigger. So okay, so this is a Joker scene. We've got the very super saturated, like over-the-top saturated fluorescent green lights. They're kind of creating like this rimming effect on him a little bit, but his core value is kind of like his still hero warm skin tone. So one of the things about this, like you've got the idea of it going down, but like this would really kind of occur more as like, it's more about like wrapping around him from behind just a little bit on the side of his face. And I think that if you got it, it would be more like the light kind of creeping around like this, as opposed to, because it looks almost like there's a spotlight coming down on him, and it's more about it being like a larger radius light coming in from behind. Because I'm not convinced. I don't think that. I think these lights are providing some of the light on the top of his head. I think this light might be more motivated by like a spotlight or something off camera that's pushing that on there. Because it doesn't make sense if these are like these long cylinders of light that there wouldn't be anything over here, that it would only be on this side. I guess he has his head like a little bit cocked to the side, but not enough to really justify that. So that would be my thought. And then I love that you're seeing this, because you're totally right. Oh, wrong one. You're totally right. There is a little bit of this warm light creeping in, and it's so important to start seeing that stuff when you're looking at this stuff, because you know, like you look at this and your initial thought is like, oh, he's in this green environment, but in reality, it's only 30% of them is really being lit by that. A lot of it's still that warm kind of neutral light that's happening. So I think this light would need the most work in just like creating that more wraparound thing. This is looking pretty good. And then in terms of like this central value in the middle of them, I think that looks pretty good. I'm trying to think, like maybe like color wise it's feeling a little bit green, but like it's missing his skin shader type of a feel to it, so I'm not gonna get too much on that. Maybe I'm just thinking maybe the value needs to come up like a little bit more bounce light coming up in there, just because it feels a little flat, so just to create a little more shaping. But yeah, do you have any questions for us?
No, I think that answered a lot. I was really struggling with that key. I kept like trying to figure out, but I think that'll help to kind of wrap it this way, because I actually had it from the side originally.
Mm-hmm.
So that, yeah, I think wrapping.
Yeah, it's once you get more familiar with this stuff, you start to like see the light and get a good understanding of the, like, okay, in order for that light to have that property and that effect, like it must be positioned kind of back behind him and over here a little bit. And that just comes with experience and playing around with stuff. If anybody is playing around with Katana, there's a really great light placement feature in Katana 4.0 that's like the specular, like you can specular place things. You can have like an object like this, and you can just say like, I want the shadow to be over here, and you like literally take your cursor and you're like, I select here, and it will position the light in a position that'll shoot the shadow that way. And it really helps you when you're looking at reference and you're learning. I thought it was a great opportunity to be like, oh, wait, how do you get shadow over there? And you just like click, and then it's like, oh, the light has to be a little lower and a little stretched out. It's pretty cool. And that's, yeah, so cool. All right. So let's start hopping through. Let's go to, we'll start with Dani. So Dani, this is a much better situation going on in this window over here. I like that much better. And it's really kind of isolating in here. I think that this feels a little tight. I think you can squeeze it out a little bit more, so that the light kind of like, because it looks like it stops a little abruptly. Like I think you can fade this out just a touch more. I wouldn't want it to creep like all the way out here, but I think a little bit more in that space. Love like the little hits of light on the bars again. I think those look really cool. And I think the swords look a lot better. They might be a little bright. I would just, in a crypto mat or something, just pull them back down a little bit. It's also because they're like a big X in the middle of the scene. Like it feels like it's like, look at this. But I think you could probably pull those down a little bit. This light coming from the side looks good. I think the candles look pretty good. I think you can do more glow brightness on this fireplace too.
I didn't move to nuke yet.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will not do my little thing until.
You can do it now. Once I move it to nuke, I'll know what to shoot for.
Yeah, I think that's. So So it would be like, yeah, go ahead, just do my little thing. While I'm doing this, does anybody else have any thoughts that before he moves into compositing?
My only thing is the bookshelf on the right, the second shelf down where the candles are hitting the red books. I think that's a little too bright.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right over here?
I see that.
Yeah, that one. There you go.
Yeah, because it's like,
I think the candle is good, but the reflection off the books I think is a bit much.
It's a really funny. So this scene is such a balancing act, and it's taken a little bit of finesse with us over this time period, and you're doing a really good job of balancing it into place. But like these like night looking scenes are with just like lots of ambient, like with lots of individual light sources. It's like it's such a balancing act to get into right, and I think you're falling into place right. But yeah, Kat, I think. Like without those books being a major story element, yeah, we could probably tone that down a little bit. I think that's good. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, if this is what it's looking like, it's straight out of render. Yeah, I'm excited to see what you do in comp. Because like
I plan to go back and do some more material work on the couch, for example, and on some of the stuff.
And that's a really great approach. Like I've noticed this. From working in the industry is that like so often like when you get a shot as a lighter, it's already like lots of shader dev has already been done on it, lots of like all of this, a lot of this stuff has already been figured out, and then you start adding lights, and like if this is the scene, there'll be like there would be like books on this bookshelf with like 4K textures on them and all this like super detail, and you're like, it doesn't really matter. It could just be blue. It could be green. It doesn't matter. Like it does not matter. So I love the idea of like staging your scene, putting some temporary materials on it, or like something just to get it up and running, placing your lights, getting an understanding of like depth of field, light and dark value, where the light's coming from, and like really this couch needs a little more detail, but you know that now, and you only know that because you went through the process of lighting it a little bit, and like you're not going into super detail on these vases or like. If there's a book on the table, like what's written in the book. So I think that's really good. It just saves render time too.
Should I ask also? Should I add depth of field also?
No, not really. I mean, it's if your focal length, if you're focusing on something closer to the camera, then yes. But since you're like taking in the whole room, there's not much, and there's nothing like really in the extreme foreground. And so if you think about like how depth of field works, like your view, like your focal point is 10, 15, 20 feet away from the camera. It's a little bit wide angle. Like you're not going to get like you're not going to be able to have like you're not gonna be able to have like things out of focus in the foreground, and then all of a sudden stuff here, and then like stuff back behind it. Like it's just not really the way that depth of field works at this scale, and it would look a little off. Like if there was a piece of furniture here, like right in the foreground, I would say throw that out of focus. But there's just nothing in that very close range.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good.
One less thing to do, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So Jordan is not here. We've got.
What about the nuke fire?
No, I literally that's all. That's really all I wanted to do was just to add like a little bit of like.
Just the glowiness.
Just glowiness to it, and even that could be a little more stronger around the base.
Cool.
But for that, like for that, the nice thing about Nuke is you can bring in your reference files directly into the Nuke script and like have them right next to you, and you can A/B between them, and like kind of like, if you're like okay, like do this versus the real fire, and then like it really helps you identify the visual cues that make a fire look like a fire. Because I think you've got some base elements there. It's just like that. The lens effects and things like that go on with it, so that'd be really good.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so no Emma, no Jordan, so we'll come back to those. Kat, you are here. So I brought in your previous version. This one, I think the round cylinder, the round pillars look a lot better. I like this being hit up there. I think this is working out really well. Yeah, I think those are pretty good. I like the added brightness on this light. I do think, like I was looking at this, and I do think, that we still, like, because it doesn't look like this one came down too much, the one right around her eye. So I do think that could come down. I think that still could come down a little bit, but I do like the brightening that you've done on the rest of it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then just double check the texture over here. This feels a little low res, and I've always associated it with the image being low res, but now that we've got like a more detailed texture on here, this feels like it might be that you might need to put something else on there to just make it feel, because like it feels a little pixelated.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for us? Is there?
No,
Yeah.
that was it.
And
I think the pillar on the left is a little white. I feel like it's a little bright and white, and then I just keep looking at it.
yeah, that's a fair
But
point.
yeah, just maybe just a little, I don't know, darken it or add some saturation or something.
Yeah. Also looking at this.
Okay.
Let's see if we can. Ding, ding.
Oh,
Little eye dings in there too. I mean, literally, it doesn't have to be anything more than what I just did. Like literally, just put a couple of little dots in there, and I think that
Right.
it's amazing. It's amazing what those little guys can do.
I think the poem, right,
Okay.
you can do a little more shaping, or the square texture had a bit more breaking up in the pattern. So maybe just add that a little bit.
Yeah. That's fair too. But this is getting really close, Kat. All right, good job, team.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, the pole on the left brightened up when I brightened the cool fill light on her, so that's why that got extra brighter.
Got it.
Because the fill light on her also hits the pole. So.
Got it. And Vanessa, you are here. I didn't have. I wanted to bring in the old one too. I thought I had it. Oh no, I you know what? Earlier in this, I felt like I closed a tab, and I think I found it. All right, good. Let's see which one. I think it's this one.
no.
Oh, wrong one. That's what happens when you name two files the exact same. So I brought in your both iterations of it because I wanted to see them, and it's amazing. I think this looks a lot better. I think you're good. I think the eye whites are good. Again, sorry to make you wait a little bit to just say that I think it's good, but I wanted to bring it up in case anybody has any notes for you. But I like it. I think it's very, very pretty.
Do you think she still look heroic?
Yeah. It's more about the camera position being slightly beneath her. She feels like I physically feel like I'm looking up to her, right? I feel like she's like,
Okay, cool.
yeah, she definitely, and she's got the smirk and the look in her eye, and she's got the glint in her eye. She's definitely the hero of whatever is going on.
Okay, good.
Yeah, this looks great. And anything else before we
Thank you.
release Vanessa to do the next another great project?
Another one.
Another one. Do it again. Yeah. That's kind of what the job is, right? Hey, this looks great. Now go do it again. Very, very cool. Great job. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and thank you to everyone who took the time to comment on the Discord thing.
Oh yeah, and it was I think it was worth it to do that extra step of the of playing with the lens a little bit more. So okay, let's.
Thank you for the more.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great, and it gave me an opportunity to make a GIF, which I like doing, and I put that in there. I was like, ooh, because I wanted to compare them quickly. I was like, how do I do this? And like, yeah, it was great. All right, so let's go. We'll take a look at Jordan's here real quick. All right. Okay, so we've got Jordan's. We've got some reference images here with the glasses and like this kind of dark tint with the edge. We've got the color scheme in here, and then this is some really, really good skin reference in terms of value and darkness and getting that specular highlight in there. I think we're getting too broad with the diffuse in the skin. I think that can come down and really kind of get into more of this like this type of value if you're going warmer, like that would be about as bright as you want to get in the diffuse values, but just like really letting the specular highlights drive that. The glasses are tricky. They're always going to be tricky. The eyeglasses are always tough. Like I think the shading is good, but like I do wonder if we can do like that edging thing to it, because I think that's kind of a cool effect from this. And you could even just do that, and like that would actually be a pretty easy nuke thing. You just do an edge detect and then just grab it from there. In terms of, I'm looking at the fill value. The fill, it feels a little flat and it feels like it's a little saturated. It's actually just like, yeah, like where this one feels a little bit less, like the core of it gets a little bit whiter, and this one kind of stays like the same blue throughout. And then just some shadow settings, like this edge of the shadow feels a little bit sharp. And then I think the hair could use a little bit more. It looks a little clay. It could use a little bit more speck in there as well. Let's see, Vanessa. I thought the hair on this looks. Oh wait, there are other ones. That I thought the hair was looking good. Vanessa, you hid the hair. But like down around here, like this is really good. Just like getting the shaping in there. Yeah. Did anybody else have anything for Jordan before we move on? Yeah, no, I think this is good. And then last up, we have Emma. I think this is looking a lot better. Oh wait. Yeah, so I think this is like the previous version. Yeah, I think the strength of the light coming through, suggesting that little bit of outside space is really good. It would be nice to get a little bit more glow around this window, a little bit, and then the other thing. Yeah, I think we can. I want to just see, like, because right now it feels like the light that's hitting the character is actually the light that's back here, and that's totally fine to start with, but I think that we can make the character a lot brighter on the rims and the light kind of wrapping around here. Let's go ahead and take that. Let's take this and just make this a little bit brighter. Whoop. Maybe something more along these lines. But you can, like, I think that we're really kind of starting to get a good feel for this scene. The one thing that I really like is, seeing from here to here, you can really feel the character moving through the space a little bit. And you can really feel like the differences in the areas. I do want to do, like, next time you submit, do one with the character closer to the warm light, because I do want to see that. And I want to make sure that the character is getting enough pop from that warm light. And in terms of what I just said about this getting a little bit brighter, it's just adding another light back behind the character in that space that would kind of hit in that same window. That's only linked to the character, just to give the character a little bit more pop. Yeah. Anybody got anything else? No. I think we're good. You guys are good. This is all good. All right. Well, that is all for today. Reminder again for tomorrow, get your ACES stuff loaded and practiced if you're participating in that with Diana tomorrow. We're doing that at 2:30 Eastern. Is that right?
I think 2.
2, yeah. Okay, 2 tomorrow. I will send out a reminder tomorrow to those that are participating in that. So great job, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. All right, be good.